Time for the 49ers Rush Podcast. And here's your host, John Chapman.
What is going on, faithful? This is the best time of the week. It is Tuesday. I've got this fly-looking dude. Look at that outfit. None other than the Wayne Breezy wearing his custom apparel. Looking sharp, my friend. How are you, man?
I'm doing great, as Tony the Tiger would say. Hey, man, I missed you, bro. Like, you got to stop taking these weekly trips, man. Like, when we take a week off, it's like...
It's not cool. It's not cool, man. It's not cool. I'll say this. When we're in the season, we don't get any days off.
That's a good point.
And so, like, I went 4 months without taking a day off. And so now it's like, all right, if somebody wants to go skiing with my boy, I'm in. And Mammoth was awesome, whatever. But we got a lot of fun stuff planned for you today. And I want to say shout out to the Countdown crew. I love all the hashtag CCs. The chat is filling up. We got Clayton running behind the scenes. So we have some stuff prepared, but I would really, really like to get off task a little bit today. And that's up to you people to chat. So if there's something you want to talk about, whether it's the Niners currently, in the past, NFL in general, we want to go that direction. Because, man, when Wayne and I show up, I don't know why, the chat's just always fire. Look at Melissa. She's coming in.
I had to give her a high five, bro.
That's awesome. That is awesome. And we even got Kim. What's up, Kim? From across the pond. I love it. Now, excuse me. Couple questions that came in earlier this week. And this whole channel is, this whole show today is, what's next for the 49ers? Free agency's a little bit at a standstill. You brought in John Feliciano, who's kind of a center swing guard, Daniel Brunskill type. Just broke down my first game tape of him. I really like him. I'm just going to be really honest. I'm ashamed. I didn't even know who he was. Like, that's an issue.
There's 8 billion people in the NFL.
There's a lot.
You can't know everybody. And why would you know any New York Football Giants? I mean, come on.
That's true. That's
Come
true.
on, bro.
He came in 2014, so it was right before I started my draft book. But, man, he's good. I really liked his tape. I watched the Washington game where he's going against, Jonathan Allen, Deron Payne, just on a consistent note. And, man, he got the best of them time and time again.
Oh, yeah. I mean, and listen, this kid's a mean mauler. Right, you're looking at him in the run game. You're gonna get an upgrade, and the good thing is he played center. So the question is, we signed the center, we signed Jake Brendel, and we re-signed him, and now we're bringing this guy in. And so people are like, well, why would you sign a center and then sign another center? Well, he's versatile, so he's a guard / center or center / guard, however you want to utilize him. Sounds like Daniel Brunskill to me. Also played some tackle in college. I don't think he has the tackle attributes in the NFL, but this is a really good signing. It's a 1-year deal for the San Francisco 49ers, and it's something that they can look forward, having this NFL veteran that's been around for a while to come out here and compete for a spot. I like this. I like competition at every position, John. We have competition now at the center position, or there could possibly be competition at the tackle position, because now Colton McKivitz is there. Do we move Spencer Burford back to tackle and allow him to play guard? There's so many options Kyle Shanahan can go with. This is a Kyle Shanahan signing 100%.
Yeah, it's interesting. And I got to give a shout out to my man, Jack. What's up, Jack? Appreciate the super chat and the friendship. This dude is awesome. He says, much love, guys. Right back at you, man. Right back at I like Jack because as soon as we sign anybody, my notifications usually go off. And one of the first ones is Jack asking me, John, how do we feel about this? Which is awesome. And so, Jack, I really do appreciate you, man. You're the absolute best.
I like that, though.
Sticking with John Feliciano before we get to some of the other options that are at play here, You talked about versatility. These are the starts or the majority of playing time that he's had. 22 starts at center, 15 starts at left guard, 23 starts, the most in his career at right guard. So the dude is Dan Brunskill, but older and more experienced. And so I think this is a 1 to 2 year stopgap player. The thing that's interesting to me, you said competition.
Mm-hmm.
Because I was assuming Nick Zakelj or Jason Poe would step into that. Now you've got three. You've got three of these, 31-year-old John Feliciano. Then you got these younger guys that are there too.
Yeah.
Did this hurt your valuation of Nick Zakelj or Jason Poe?
No, because again, they're unproven. And their job is to go out there to prove it. I think when you sign a veteran like this, you got a proven commodity on your roster. And I think that's what you want, those stopgap pieces. All right, I want to see what these second-year players are going to be able to do at this level. You know what I'm saying? Did they pan out their rookie seasons? Well, I'll tell you what, one remained on the active roster all year long, and the other one remained on the practice squad all year long. And so now we're going to see, can Jason Poe take it to the next level? Can Nick Zakelj move up into a starting or a rotational piece this year? Go from active to rotational, or maybe even start. We don't know. They're unproven, right? We talk about a lot of players that are unproven. We don't necessarily know what they're going to do. Uncle Scott, what's going on, baby? We don't know what they're going to do. But I do know with John Feliciano, he's a proven commodity, and he's been around for a long time, and he's here for a reason. You know what I mean? And so it's not just a signing. I know we kind of get hooped up about all of our signings. Well, what John and I really try to do is find out the good, the bad, and the ugly. And right now, I see no ugly. Will there be some bad? Yeah, there's some bad. But right now, we're focusing on the positives. Why this was a particular signing for the San Francisco 49ers. And I'm going to tell you right now, he's a Kyle Shanahan guy. Like the fact that he's versatile, Chris Forster is going to be able to utilize him. You lost Daniel Brunskill to free agency. How do we replace Daniel Brunskill? How do you replace a versatile guy with a non-versatile guy?
Right.
You can find the next versatile guy.
Right. Yeah, I like that. Scott Hill, thank you so much, my friend, for the super chat. He says, "What's up, fellas? Love the content. We need a right tackle, period."
Let's talk about
now,
this, John. I like
all
this.
Right.
I like
I'm going to give you two options.
Okay.
And shout out to Colin for the look at that. You got the
English,
symbol
right?
up there. That's coming from
pound?
Europe. That's Europe. Yeah.
Okay.
It looks like the pound symbol. Right? That's what it is, right?
My
so
bad.
yeah, I think it is England. But yeah, it's not the Euro symbol, I don't believe. But look at us, well-educated fellas. Bring it up. Thank you, Colin. Appreciate it.
I've been around the block a couple times. You know
Wayne, here's my, and again, let's just stick with what the Niners currently have on their roster.
Yes, sir.
What would you prefer? Scenario one, Burford starts at right guard, Colton McKivitz starts at right tackle, Feliciano backs up, or Feliciano starts at right guard, Burford starts at right tackle, Colton McKivitz backs up.
I think I go with scenario one because we've seen it before.
Fewer interchangeable parts. It's more consistent.
Right. So we've seen Colton McKivitz come in and play left tackle. The majority of the time that he's come in, he hasn't played much of right tackle, but we've seen him play left tackle.
Oh, but I got to step in real quick. I think we insulted Colin. Edinburgh, Scotland, definitely not England.
My
totally
fault.
different. That's our bad, bro.
I saw the pounds.
That's our bad.
I think that was the pound, and so my fault for assuming I'm an ass. That's
no. Long live Scotland, man. Love it.
Scotland.
Love it. So back to your point.
Yes,
you want the least.
I want the most continuity. Yeah. I want the continuity, and I like the fact that I got a Uno wild card in my deck, like just waiting. You know what I'm saying? So like, hey man, I need you to play center today. Jake Brendo's having, whatever. Good, he could plug him in at center. So you keep the wild card. It's kind of like what they were doing with Brunskill. I think what messed up Brunskill was he got injured, and they had to find a way to work him back into the rotation. To give him a chance, you know what I'm saying? And so I think now that you have that wild card piece, let Cole McKivitz start at right tackle. Okay. We've never seen Spencer Burford play right tackle in the NFL.
And he played left tackle at UTSA.
Right. But we've never seen him on the NFL level
against
NFL players at the NFL speed. It's different, I'm sure his measurables measure out for him to play tackle. I could be wrong. But you want longer arms? Does he have shorter arms? Is that why they translated him down to a guard? I don't know. But they did teach him how to play guard, and I'm sorry, he played it very damn well. And I think he's only going to get better in year 2. Why mess that up? Now, him having the ability to be able to do it, okay, cool. But you got to tackle. You got Colt McKivitz. And, I know the 49ers did that deal to kind of like save a few dollars off the tender and things like that, to sign him to a 2-year deal was a little bit cheaper, but they brought him back for a reason too. And I mean, hey, you let him go out there and you compete. I think his competition is going to be Leroy Watson and Jalen Moore, right? And so if he could beat those guys out, cool. And you draft a rookie. You draft at least one rookie at the right tackle spot. I think we take 2 offensive linemen in this draft. I think you're going to take a rookie and a combo guard center. I think that's the way that they're going to go. And if that rookie comes in here and beats out Colt McKivitz, then you know what time it is. Like, now you got you a swing tackle, which I think he's best at. But we're going to see where he is. He had good starts at left tackle. I'm a little concerned of him playing right tackle, but I'm sure he'll get it together. So I go with scenario 1 all day, every day.
I like that. Now, again, like I constantly remind people, I kept saying, I think Colton McKivitz is going to be starting right tackle week 1. Like, that's just where I have been since the season ended. This franchise has constantly voiced their trust in Colton McKivitz. They did cut him, but then they brought him back and they talked about how he changed his mentality, whatever else. And he's going to be solid in the run game. Like, he's very, very solid. They liked him enough to be the starting left tackle after Joe Staley left. Right. They were going to draft him with the pick that they traded for Trent Williams.
Yep.
So we'll see there. Now, this is a question for Bride White. Shout out to the man, Sergeant himself. He's incredible. He's been helping with the draft work. He says, here's one for you. Wayne, where would you play Javon Hargrave? Would you want him next to Bosa? Or do you want him on the other side opposite Bosa to pull some of the focus away from Bosa? So on pass rushing downs,
I like that.
You want him next to Bosa or away from Bosa?
Overload that side, man. Make that offensive line concave. And this helps the other side because you really want to see what you got out of the rookie. Right. So if the rookie can start winning his one-on-ones, if Drake Jackson is out there on pass rushing downs, could this be a Cleveland Farrell special on pass rushing downs on the other side? Those guys are going to be getting one-on-ones. Just think about this. You overload the side, right? It's a tight end and a left tackle on Nick. Who the hell's blocking Hargrave?
And that dude was getting the most double teams on Philly film. I've gone through 2 full games. He's the most double team guy.
Okay, that's fair. All right, fine. So that's 2 on Nick. That's 2 on Hargrave.
That's 4.
There's only 3 other offensive linemen, right?
Yeah, I mean, you got 5, and if you got a tight end, 6 total.
Right. So I mean, somebody's got to get a one-on-one matchup, and I think I like our chances on the one-on-ones. And Nick's going to still create the pressure with double teams, and Hargrave is still going to create pressure with double teams. These are guys that still get pressures being double teamed. I overload the side all day, every day.
Yeah, I like that too. And again, if one of the things I'm curious to see, will Steve Wilks keep doing that show blitz on third downs where you walk up, Fred Warner and Dre Greenlaw, and it looks like everybody's coming, then they back out, but like every third time they come, right? So like, I'm curious to see what that is. Now, in most Steve Wilks games, he likes those nickel blitzes. He loves nickel and safety blitzes.
So let's have this conversation because I'm looking at Isaiah Oliver, not a blitzer, not too much of a blitzer, more of a cover nickelback than he is a.
He's got 2 sacks in his career.
Boy, you on it. You just on it. Okay, you just on it. And then when you look at Miles Hartsfield, also not necessarily a blitzer, a thumper, a short tackler, but not a blitzer. Hufanga, maybe? Like, what are we going to see from that safety blitz?
Hufanga's one of the best blitzers in the NFL, already. Yeah. There's a reason why he was all pro his first year as a starter. It's because of the splash plays. Now, we've watched all of his tape. He had some rough spots in there.
Yeah.
But it's still getting a playmaker at the safety position is rare in today's NFL. You saw it with CJ Gardner-Johnson. You see it with Talanoa. There's not a lot. There's good safety play across the NFL. The explosive playmaking stuff, that's what's hard to find. And I think that's what Hufanga brings. And
I agree.
Again, this dude coach Sean Taylor. That's all I'm saying.
And it's unteachable, right? Like it's a trait. It's a natural trait that players have to have, and he has that. And I think, I'm super excited about Steve Wilkes being here because his specialty is in the backfield. And this is going to be interesting to see how he helps upgrade a player. You know what I'm saying? And you talked about Sean Taylor when he was with the Washington Redskins. That was their name at the time. I'm hoping I'm not being offensive to anybody, but that was their name. And you saw what he did. And I feel like Hufanga has so many natural football instincts that I'm curious to see if Steve Wilkes just really allows this kid to tap in to who he is. That's going to be amazing to watch him progress in year 3.
If he goes up at all,
that's
just
crazy.
Any increase,
I know,
he's an all-pro safety already.
And
any increase,
I know.
And I'll say this:
his second year. Good gosh.
You remember what his goal was when he got drafted? He
to
wanted
to make the Pro Bowl as a special teams player.
Yeah. Well, you overshot that one by a little bit.
Yeah.
I like this comment here by Greg Iscon. He says Hargrave should boost Bosa's sack total by at least 10%. What do you have? 18.5. So it's basically 2 more sacks. I was one of the weird people, and I was being stingy. I was wanting to reserve some of this. You remember Bosa talked about his goal was to beat Alden with the 19.5. He didn't get there.
It was close.
So he got Defensive Player of the Year. I'm glad he still got something to chase. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. And he still has the NFL sack record to chase too. So he got his All-Pro, right? And
got Defensive Player of the Year.
Got Defensive Player of the Year. And if he continues to just continue to take strides up, which I mean is Nick Bosa, he's going to continue to progress. I think we can all assume that it's possible that now he breaks the 49ers team sack record, and then maybe he breaks the NFL sack record like a year later. Who knows? I think at this point, like I can see that it's championship time, and if those things come, they come. I really do. I think the 49ers are looking at themselves and they're saying, dang naggit, how can we get into championship mode? We're so close every single time. And where did we fall short? And that was at the defense. I told you, we needed rush from the interior. Like you needed someone to eat up space. And the one thing I love most about Hargrave, and I know we're jumping all over the place, is the simple fact that he brings you speed from the interior. Like speed, great footwork, great this, great that. Somebody talked about stunting. On a 4-3, you're going to see some stunts. Okay? I can tell you that right now. You're going to see some stunts. Some
Bosa enjoys stunts a lot.
Ooh, him coming back around from the opposite side. Hargrave soaking up the doubles, knocking the tight end on their buttocks. It's going to be fun to watch.
I'm excited, man. And like, I'll say this is another question. We'll stick with this Bosa conversation. Zach W on Twitter, he asked me, is there any reason to worry at all about Bosa not being extended yet?
No.
Absolute zero.
No.
Now, what I would say is this. The 49ers have set precedent. Kittle, Warner, Debo. Now, Bosa. Bosa's not going anywhere. But what this does do, and the reason why you wait until after the draft, is because future players understand we've got to show up to camp if we're going to get paid. So this answers any issues if somebody's wanting to do a contract holdout like we saw with Debo last year. Hey, man, the draft's passed. We can't get compensation for you this year. Sorry. We would like to keep you here. Here's our contract. Let's get it worked out. Debo's happy. Shanahan's happy. It took a while to get to that point. Bosa's getting paid. And little known fact, Bosa's family's not hurting for money at all. They're going to be just fine. They're going to be just fine. So, 0% concern level there. Not an issue whatsoever.
And if you want to talk about like strengths and weaknesses, I know we lost a lot of players defensively, more defensively than we did offensively. We lost a lot of depth. Just be patient, and the 49ers will continue to build their depth. Remember, new defensive coordinator. Let's see where he wants to build the depth. Will it be on the defensive line? Maybe it'll be a little bit different this year. Maybe his depth is in from a different perspective. I think they like their linebackers. That doesn't mean they won't draft one or two, but hey, I think they'll add a couple of more pass rushers. They'll draft one and probably sign a free agent after the draft. Last year, they signed a free agent before the draft. So maybe it'll change. Kamoko Toure was the draft of this free agent that was signed right before the draft. And then in that second round, who did they draft? Drake Jackson. And what happened?
Drake Kamiko never really played. He was awesome in the preseason, though.
Yeah, it was amazing in the preseason. And you know, for the 49ers, luckily he was able to stick around, right? Like other teams weren't trying to pick him up every time he was released and things like that. So we'll see what happens. I do think they may bring him back. Like we'll see what happens with the depth. Just be patient. The depth will come. I think at this point right now, the 49ers are preparing for the draft.
I agree with you. I like this comment from Big Papa. He's the man. He says there's still a lot of edge rushers that can come and quality. I mean, golly, just listen to this list. Okay, these are guys that are still out there. Not saying I want all of them. I'm just saying this is the people that are waiting to get signed. Bud Dupree, Leonard Floyd, Frank Clark, don't want them. Robert Quinn, Yannick Ngakoue, Jadeveon Clowney. Let's see here, Marcus Golden. I mean, good gosh, there's just Melvin Ingram. It just keeps going. Jordan Phillips, Justin Houston, Rashad Green, Carlos Dunlap, Dante Fowler. There's a lot of cats out there.
Can I circle one of the names on that list that no one is talking about? Marcus Golden from Arizona. Now I know they were in more of a 3-4 type of a defense, but you could put him in a 4-3 defense like the Philadelphia Eagles had with Hassan Reddick, and that kid is fast.
Yeah,
like he has speed off the edge. That might be a piece that the 49ers may look to add. Go get him from the rival. Let him come back there, make him an offer that he can beat his rival 2 times a year.
And and this is the situation, right? What are the 49ers going to do next? That's the title of the show. Right now, you are making deals. You're making offers, bottom barrel. Look, man, we understand you can get $7 million a year. We're offering you 4.5.
Yep.
You want to come here and compete for a ring? That's your option. You want to go get your 7 somewhere else? I totally get it. You might have a year or 2 left. We'd like you to end out on top. And so if you offer that to Golden and he says no, cool. Then you go to Leonard Floyd. He says no, cool. Robert Quinn. He said, like, you're just throwing your shot out there. That's it. I always used to say, this was my we're getting weird here. In college, I always used to tell my buddies, I was like, look, dude, if you only have a 10% chance of that girl saying yes to a date, then guess what? You just got to ask 10 girls. You're going to get one. That's it. It's a game of percentages. You got to shoot your shot. Don't worry about rejection. That ain't going to get you nowhere. Because if you don't talk to her, you ain't getting a date anyway. It's simple numbers, man. You got to shoot your shot.
That's it.
Anyway, now let's stick with this. You talked about the defensive ends that we have lost. Samson Ebukam, Charles Omenihu. Now we've lost even the guy that we traded for, Jordan Willis. Does the addition of Javon Hargrave make up for those 3 big losses at the edge position? Would you rather have those 3, or would you rather have the concentrated force in the middle, Javon Hargrave? Because financially, the numbers are similar.
Yeah, the concentrated force in the middle. The quickest line to the quarterback is a straight line. I want the pressure up the middle. I've been wanting the pressure up the middle. Been tired of dealing with the freaking Rams and freaking Aaron Donald and some of these guys. And if you go back and watch the Eagles and 49ers game, which I wouldn't recommend, where were they creating pressure? I mean, I know you saw Hassan Reddick having a field day. It was because we had the block up the freaking middle. So we had to use a tight end. Sorry, we had to use a tight end. I feel let me take some highs out of my voice. We have to use a tight end.
I love it, man.
The block on the edge. Look, it was give me the pressure up the middle. Always pressure up the middle for me, man. Look, it is. You'll find, guys, listen, I trust Chris Kosirik more than 100%. There's no such thing as more than 100%. It's only 100%. I trust him more than 100% to take anything and make them great. I just do. That's what he does.
Yeah, he's incredible. He's incredible. Steve says Omenihu's going to be a bigger loss than people realize. I agree. We both like Omenihu. I mean, he was awesome. Expensive. There's no doubt about it. But he's gone. He chose money, and he's in Kansas City, so he, staying with his whole pursuit of a ring and all that stuff. They offered him more. That's just what it is. We chose to go with Hargrave, and I'm not upset at all about that. Now, the edge position is an issue. So My man Brian White came up with a scenario. I want to pass it to you, okay? Wayne is the 49ers GM. We are in the draft room. We're in the war room, baby.
Let's do it, baby.
It's the second day of the NFL draft, and all of a sudden, we're at pick 70, okay?
My war shades on.
There we go. Oh, dude, look clean. Look clean. Look at that. Look at that. We're at pick 70. The Raiders are on the clock, and there's an edge there by the name of Byron Young out of Tennessee. Do you want to trade up to get this cat? It's a huge need. I could even give you the parameters of a trade. Tell me what you think about Byron Young out of Tennessee. There's two Byron Youngs.
No, I know. One's Tennessee, one
Alabama.
One's a defensive lineman, one's an edge. I met both of them at the Senior Bowl. Listen
to this dude.
I don't know if I put out a tweet from the Senior Bowl, but he was one of the players that I had my eyes on. And then when the 49ers had a formal meeting with him, my eyes got even bigger. And so you're looking for a kid. First of all, he's a kid with a story that had, faced adversity, kid that was working at a grocery store type of a thing. And then all of a sudden got a chance to play for a Division I school. And he ended up, he was playing at Division II schools, and he ends up, at Tennessee, playing for Tennessee. And so, like, I would love for him to be a San Francisco 49er just by talking to him. Very well spoken. I'm not sure how, we talk about scholar athletes and things like that. I didn't look too deep into that, but very well spoken kid. Most importantly, he can play his ass off, and his motor is crazy, right? Doesn't take plays off. Okay. And so you're asking me, do we trade up though?
Correct.
To draft him. Oof.
So, okay, let me just set the stage, because obviously there's lots of things. The edge rushers that you like are all gone, okay? This is the last edge rusher. Offensive tackles that you like are all gone, which, by the way, every single draft, those guys are flying off the board.
Okay. I didn't know there were stipulations here. All right.
I'm trying to say, look, do you want to sit at 99, 101, and 102 for some guys that you're going to like, but nobody that you're in love with?
No, not when I could get a player that I know could come in and help day one.
So here's the draft trade. Okay, I'm going to be Las Vegas, okay, which I hate. I'm sorry. Here's what I'm going to offer you. Look, 49ers, there's this guy. I know you like him. You met with him. Come up and get your edge rusher. We need more picks. Here's what we want, okay? We want your 99, we want your 101, and we want your 141. So 99, 101, 141. You get our 70 and our 214.
Oh,
on the draft trade chart, it equals out.
That's a sweet deal. So you get an extra 2/3. We're giving up 2/3 and a fifth for a sixth, and I can get him. Oh man, sign me up for the Christian Jubilee.
Whew. Yeah. All right. So I want to see. Do you guys agree with Wayne? Trade up for the edge or sit pat?
Yeah. Sign me
would you
up.
rather stay back and collect picks, or do you want to trade up and go try to get another type of premier speed guy? Now, Wayne just gave the background story of Byron Young, 6'2", 250. 4.43 speed. Boye Mafe is my play style comp for this guy. And he's fun.
Look, let me just explain a little bit why I would make this trade. Okay. So the 49ers, look what they've done in the offseason. Look how they addressed free agency. You, meaning out there, just told me that we are struggling with defensive edge depth. And I can go get a premier. I'm talking about a kid that can just come in to rush. That's it. That's all I need you to do. You can learn the game at some point in life. Come in, get to the quarterback. We thought we were getting that with Drake Jackson, but a lot of people forget that Drake Jackson was up in weight, down in weight, utilized wrong, this way, that way. He had to be shaped a little bit more. This kid is a pass rusher. Now, his numbers in college aren't going to stand out to you.
No, and be 5.5 sacks last year. That's
No. But the fact that, he's always double teamed. He won't be double teamed in the pros. I can tell you that right now. If you double team, the only rookie that was they didn't even double team Nick Bosa his rookie season, idiots. Right? And so, look, all I'm saying to you is you can get another premier guy that should be second round talent. You move up. You know what I mean? And you get him early in the third. I would do that, like, easily.
I like that. Now, I want to. A lot of people like to trade. I like to trade. One person does it. Let's keep that one up there. Nick Ellert. I like Nick a lot. He keeps me grounded.
Yeah,
He usually takes the negative stance on most things. I hope that doesn't offend you. But you want to be negative, you can be negative. That's cool. I get that. He says 3 third-round guys are better than that. You keep all the third rounders. We're only traded 2 and a 4th, but that's just what the trade chart says. Yes. You're waiving or
so no, because I'm gonna ask him. I'm gonna name a couple of players: Trey Sermon, Ambry Thomas.
That's a Michigan guy. That hurts.
It does hurt, but these are third-round guys. You don't know
that went at these exact same spots.
Oh my
exact
gosh,
same spots.
I'm trying to say that. That's why, and that's not a shot at anybody. I'm just saying, like, you don't know, like, who's gonna pan out. And I understand you want more picks and this, that, but hey, I tell you what, we would have to pay more money if you have more picks too. It's gonna cost us more for the rookies. So I tell you what, get rid of some of them and just go get what you want. Go get what you need. You can get what you want and what you need if you move up. Now, I thought if I'm moving up to probably draft a tackle, right? Because I want like a Blake Freeland or a Cody Mauch or one of those guys. I know that's going to come in day one. And even if they don't start day one, they're going to really give Colton McKivitz a run for his money to where they can start day one. That's what I want, because that's the future of the team. You want a tackle that's going to come in here and be the future. Blake Freeland might not be it, but Cody Mauch is the piece. Him and Darnell Wright, my top 2 tackles for me. Those are the guys I want.
Wow.
Blake Freeland would be my 3rd. I know he's going to lead a lot of work. I know he's a bigger guy, 6'8", but you told me they were all gone. And so I'm like, dude, I could get this kid that I know is fast. Yeah. You seen him at the combine. He's fast. He's furious. Yep. And, you bring him in here. Doesn't take plays off. You can utilize him. You can rotate him out with Drake a little bit. I think Drake starts on base downs.
I think he should.
I think he should.
And look at it. Nick responds. He says, for Pettis, Hurd, Jackson, because you don't know. You got to take more shots at it. These are 2 different philosophies. Because, and here's the thing, both of you guys just gave awesome, concrete evidence for why the other side won't work. The draft is a crapshoot. It's a crapshoot.
It always is.
Yeah. But you always want earlier picks. Like, there's no doubt about it, right? You'd rather have first-round picks than third-round picks.
The talent is supposed to be better earlier in the draft.
And there's exceptions always, but I don't know. With the 49ers, and we had a comment in here that was talking about, here we go, Symmetry 7. He says, we only have 60 players. We're at 61 now. 61 players under contract with John Feliciano out of 90. So we got 29 spots left.
Okay.
We've got 11 draft picks, undrafted free agents, plus some more just regular free agents. Remember, we only keep 53. The Niners in the past have been one of the best depth-oriented teams in the NFL. Do you continue that mold, or do you try to get more top-level, kind of like the Rams did, where, man, you had your 7 or 8 studs and the rest of the team was just nobodies?
I feel like we're in the position where we can actually now go out and get specific base pieces that will fit, opposed to crap shooting, and I think that's what they look at. And don't forget, guys, like, once the draft is over, the Niners can fill their roster with however many undrafted free agents they want, and they're cheaper.
Yeah.
So if you look at it like that, they'll still find a way to fill up their roster. So,
and you've got a lot of good ones coming through, right? Manuel Mosley, Azeez Al-Shire, right? Matt Breida. I mean, good gosh, JP Morgan.
About the undrafted guys,
yeah, those are all undrafted guys. So, like, that's going to be huge. You got 11 draft picks. I think there will be some trading, but you're also going to get about usually an entire practice squad worth of undrafted free agents. Roz Dwelly, like, there's lots of guys, Daniel Brunskill, that are undrafted free agents that you can build into what it is that you want. So I do like that. Now, okay, here we go. Let's do this. Where does kicker fit in for you? Because that's a huge need. We ain't got nobody.
No kicker. Special teams right now is like at a D+. You don't have a kicker. It's a need. And, I was having a conversation earlier today, and I was trying to explain, all right, let's do this exercise. Okay. How many NFL teams need a kicker? Okay. And so, focusing on the NFC West, obviously that's the home division. I don't think the Rams have a kicker either. So here's where it gets interesting, right? Because now the Rams and the 49ers are in position. And if you're going to draft a kicker, it has to be Jake Moody. Like that's the one guy you should probably have your hat set on. And then there's a fallback kicker, maybe the kid from Ohio State. And I think there's another kicker out there that I was looking into. But none of them are Jake Moody. And the reason why you want to go with Jake is just mainly because he can kick in all terrains. Like that's it. Snow, rain, wind, sleet, hail, dome, you name it. All of them. 61 plus too. Like he can kick. And that's what you want. Where do you draft him? That's where it becomes curious, because now you got to figure out like how many teams like Jake Moody. If he's the number one kicker out there, how many teams need a kicker? And how many teams may be looking to draft Jake Moody? And that's what's going to kind of like hurt the 49ers in the draft. I see Gammon says never draft a kicker. History is not on the team's side. Maybe we're breaking history. Maybe we're changing history. You know what I'm saying?
I don't mind if it's a 7th rounder, but you're probably not going to get Jake Moody there.
Maybe you
I don't want to
though.
spend a 5th round there.
But
And again, we drafted a freaking punter in the 4th round. I was standing right in front of the stage in Nashville. I was so mad.
I didn't understand that. I really didn't understand that, and I still don't understand it to this day, because I still don't think Mitch Wishnowsky is the best punter in the league. But at the end of the day, he's working for the 49ers, right?
He's coming off his best season, which I like. And I'd say top 5, maybe punter, but I'd say top 5.
Well, I think for the 49ers, the issue is this. You said it earlier in the show. Sorry. I got $2 million. I'm spending on a kicker. Robbie Gould, his $2 million guaranteed, all the money. That's probably too low for Gould, but let's say it's $3 million. Say that's the number. Robbie's gonna be like, nah, I want to make $5 million guaranteed, right?
Yep.
And so then Robbie's gonna probably go look elsewhere until maybe no one wants to give him that, and then he'll probably come crawling back, But at that time, you draft a kicker, and so like I don't know, 7th round.
That's $5 million. That's an extra edge rusher.
That's my point, right? So like, which kicker out there, free agent wise, if that's the number, let's say $3 million is the number. What kicker are you going to get guaranteed for $3 million that is going to be successful with the 49ers? Accuracy is everything.
Yeah.
Our offense. Oh, where did our offense finish in the red zone last year? It's not always going to be a touchdown. You need an accurate kicker.
And so again, $2.5 million is Cleveland Farrell. Do you want Robbie Gould's 2 Cleveland Farrells?
2 Cleveland Farrells.
And our offense in the red zone was 17th last year. Sorry, it took me a second to find that. So right at average, which isn't great for a top, team that's trying to win the Super Bowl. So,
I mean, so a lot of people were saying that you never draft a kicker. But the last time I checked, when we would get kickers off the street, they used to kick the shit outside of the stadium to the left or to the right. I'm just saying. Like, what do you do? So,
yeah. Damned if you do, damned if you don't.
Yeah.
And so let Robbie go where he wants to go. I'm fine drafting a kicker. I'm fine undrafted free agent kicker.
Well, I'm hoping
fine,
they go undrafted,
fine with any of those.
Right? Like I'm hoping that they go undrafted. Especially one of these 3 guys that I've been looking into. I'll put their names out there. I'm hoping that's what it is, but I don't know, man. It's interesting because Robbie Gould is being Robbie Gould, which he should be. He's 41 years old. He's entitled to do whatever the hell he wants and what's best for his family and all that type of stuff. But he wants to get the guaranteed money, and kickers, they get paid.
He's good. He should be paid. I think he's the top 5 kicker all time. Now, would Al Woods be worth taking a flyer on? The problem is, man, if we're solid at any position, it's defensive tackle.
Yeah,
like
I think
we have the most depth of any team in the NFL currently.
But I wouldn't be surprised if they drafted another one.
Right. Something like a Kalia Davis that might be a redshirt special.
You get what I'm trying to say? Like, I wouldn't be surprised they draft some type of a space eater or like a bigger body, not a true nose, but someone that can like a what was his name? A Hassan Reddick type of a player. Like, is there any big guys out there that maybe
Hassan Ridgeway? You mean
Ridgeway? I'm sorry.
Yeah, Ridgeway. Yeah. There's lots of guys out there like that.
I wouldn't be surprised if you see one of them get drafted as a defensive tackle.
Coburn, man, out of Texas, he had a terrible workout.
Be my number 1 draft prospect. That's who I want.
And you could get him in the 5th. You can get him in the 5th now because his combine was so bad. Real quick, Clayton, I want to take a quick detour here. Big Papa asks, we need an explanation of the trade chart and how insignificant comp pick numbers are. So like this is based off of the Jimmy Johnson, and I'll show you guys right here. Let's put this up. Let me try to increase the whatever so that everybody could see it. This is based off the Jimmy Johnson trade chart. And it just shows you every single pick has a value. Like pick number 1 is 3,000. You can see pick number 22 is 1.1. And you can see all the highlighted picks. These are the 49ers picks, which are almost all at the bottom. And so now understand this. The flaw of the classic Jimmy Johnson trade chart is it doesn't account for quarterback trades in the first round. Outside of quarterback trades, it is gospel. It is gospel. And so, with the trade that we talked about earlier, Wayne traded 99 and 101. So you look at those values there. That's 104 and 96. So that's 200 points plus 214 or 216. Sorry. That's 3.4. And so you can see that's 203 gets you close to 70. It gets you close to there. And so it's not always correct, but it's a reference point that they use for every trade. And if you just type in, if you wanted to know that site that I got that from, that's drafttek.com, NFL trade chart. If you just type in NFL trade value chart, there's a bunch that pull up. That's the one I use. And you can toggle between the different ones. MIT came out with a different one, like whatever else. But teams use these. They have them printed in their war rooms. And when they call teams about trades, they say, yeah, we're giving you points on this. We're getting points on this. You've heard those conversations take place. So it's a reference point for that. So anyway, thoughts on the trade chart, Wayne?
No, I mean, it's pretty much spot on. It's pretty much self-explanatory as well. And look, that's what they're going to use if they're looking to trade. And, just to make sure that the values and the things kind of like match up, making sure that they're not getting beat, for picks and things like that. So, sometimes you get idiot general managers and then they're not really paying attention. You kind of get over on them. And it's happened before, right?
Yep.
49ers, I believe, did that to the Bears. But I'm just saying.
I was thinking the same thing. I was thinking.
It happens. But listen, man, I don't know if the 49ers are going to make any trades. I don't know if they're, for draft picks. I mean, there's possibility, John, that they make a trade on draft day and a player may be gone. We don't know. We're just speculating and giving, kind of like the stuff that we're reading and researching and developing and producing for you guys. So we don't necessarily know. We're just presenting to you guys scenarios just in case if it happens, you can kind of say, hey, I heard that before. So I'm kind of somewhat ready. Like, you know what I mean?
Right.
But
and I would have said this. I would 100% bet on us trading up before the draft last year. But guess what? 0 trades last year. Yeah. So, like, they bucked the trend there. I like this question. Symmetry 7 says, there's a couple really good kickers in the XFL right now. Not sure what the rule is on signing guys from the XFL, but it's worth a look. Yeah, you could totally bring – a big reason why other developmental leagues have failed is because they've tried to restrict players going from their league to the NFL. And so, yeah, that's where that comes from. And so now, they totally could. The league's playing right now. You could make a deal. Wouldn't be an issue whatsoever. Wouldn't be an issue at all. So in the XFL, man, it's been entertaining. I will say that.
Pretty entertaining. I can't believe I found myself watching it. It's like, oh, shoot, this is football.
I used to watch Canadian football back in the day just because, they had all the different rules and whatever else, and it was fun and all that stuff. But yeah, it's a good time. It's a good time. It's a good time.
Nice little pastime until May, because once May comes, and I know it's OTAs, but I'm sorry, I'm going to be amped for 2 weeks. It's just going to be amped.
And man, let's put up there, if you don't mind, let's put up the dates, because I want to let everybody kind of know what is coming up next. Because if you look at the calendar, and again, I want to put Brock Purdy in there because this is going to be the conversation that we're going to have next. Okay, the Brock Purdy timeline, we're past the surgery now. First week of June is when he can resume throwing. 4th week of August is when he could be cleared, the earliest that he could be cleared to go back to practice. Now, keep in mind, okay, April 17th, off-season workouts start. Brock can't be there.
No.
Brock can't be there. So it's going to be Trey Lance and it's going to be Sam Darnold. It's before the draft. Those are your two quarterbacks. And it's literally workouts. It's conditioning tests and workout bonuses. And you're doing some positional work, but like that's it. There's rules like you can't even have a ball out there, but like there's all kinds of whatever. Got the draft April 27th. Then May 5th or May 12th, each team gets to pick whenever they have their rookie mini camp. Then late May is OTAs. Again, no Brock Purdy. Late July, that's when training camp starts. So late July, that's still 1 month before Brock Purdy can be cleared. So a question was put out to us by Nick. He was in the chat earlier. I don't know if he's still around, saying Mayoko put out a depth chart that had Lance ahead of Brock Purdy. And he's like, man, can you guys please talk about this?
Was it Lance ahead of Brock Purdy or Brock Purdy ahead of Lance?
I'm pretty sure. Let me just check real quick here. I'll go into my.
I thought it was the other way around because that's why he wanted us to talk about it.
Yeah, you're probably correct there.
Let's
so
find
if I
it.
messed up on there.
Let's just make it super sure.
Here we go. He says, please talk about the depth chart, Lance over Purdy.
Also, it was Lance over Purdy.
Okay. It was Lance over Purdy. And the basically, here's the depth chart. He said Lance, Purdy, Darnold. That's the Matt Mayoko put out his expected offensive draft chart. And he even called it way too early. And then he goes out and somebody was like, whoa, Lance ahead of Purdy. This is what Matt Mayoko said. Quote, read this tweet. I wouldn't spend too much time agonizing over the order in which I listed the quarterbacks. I have no idea how health, the offseason program, training camp, and everything else will influence the eventual order of the 49ers quarterback depth chart, end quote. But I'm telling you, with the dates I just gave you, it's going to be Trey Lance.
I mean, if Purdy can't possibly be cleared to the last week of August, how can he be ahead of the person that's cleared to play? How can he even be number 2 on the depth chart? Honestly. So to me, my depth chart would be Lance, Darnold, Purdy. Like that's just the most realistic order. Now, once Purdy is able to return,
different question.
It's a different question. You know?
Different question.
But because Purdy can't throw, because Purdy won't be cleared to practice with the team because he'll be able to throw in July. He just won't be cleared to practice until late August. I just don't understand how you have him ahead of anybody on the depth chart, not even ahead of Sam Darnold. He shouldn't be there. He shouldn't be ahead of him.
Because he's not going to be able to play. Listen to Kenny Powers. I love the tag, by the way. Kenny Powers is one of the greatest characters of all time. I think Brock Purdy will start on the PUP list to start the season. Now, there's 2 different PUP lists. There's the preseason training camp PUP list where you can be activated at any point. Then there's the regular season PUP list, which that comes after the initial 53-man roster. If he's on that cat's missing at least 6 weeks of the regular season. I don't think it's out of the question. I think it's unlikely.
I'm not, but I don't even think it's unlikely. I think it's actually a possibility because the 49ers may say, hey, we went and signed Sam Darnold, who can clearly back up or start. Like, why rush Brock back? Why not be extra precautious? And even though he didn't need Tommy John, why not just let him come back when he can come back? And the 49ers do this to players every season. Every season there's a player that has some type of injury, and next thing you know, they're on the PUP list, and then it's another 4 to 6 weeks before they can be evaluated to be brought back. It's not the IR, it's a little different rule. So that's pretty cool. So now they'll get a PUP list guy. I don't mind it, actually. That was actually a great idea, Kenny. I wouldn't mind it. Don't rush Brock back. You should be able to rock out with Trey and Sam. And when Brock comes back, you ease him back into the game. Like, now, if both of your quarterbacks get injured, then Brock has no choice. But they're not. Come on. I don't even like to say the I word. I'm sorry.
Yeah, I don't like it. I don't like it. And, somebody put this in there. What's up, Slick? He says, Darnold is beating Lance for that number 1 spot. And the hot take, all caps, it's fitting with what you got, what you're throwing out there. Here's what I would say. Remember, Trey Lance beat out Jimmy Garoppolo last year, team was fine riding with him, and then he hurt his ankle. What has changed from that point to now? Not saying this couldn't happen, but I'm telling you right now, this team does believe in Trey Lance. I don't know what you saw in 5 quarters, with 4 of those being an absolute monsoon, to move off of Lance. I know that people get hesitant whenever they haven't seen it recently, and I totally get that. But, man, Sam Darnold's a good quarterback. Do I think he's going to beat Trey Lance? I don't even think he's going to get that opportunity. I don't think that's even a possibility, but that's just me.
I think the optimism here is the simple fact that when it comes to Sam Darnold, I mean, they look at his situation and be like, where did he play? Who's he playing for? Now he's going to come to a situation where he could build a rapport. He has a way better supporting cast. He's going to be thrown with the second unit, so that's going to be interesting, right? And if he's looking really good with the second unit, I mean, again, they're going against the second unit defense as well. I don't know. I don't think he beats him out. I'm not worried about Trey Lance not starting for the 49ers. Let me say this. Trey Lance will start for the San Francisco 49ers if he remains on this roster.
Yeah,
I have to put that in there because people, I just feel like I'm just waiting for the worst case scenario to where he may get traded. I'm not saying he will. I'm just saying I don't know. But if he's on this roster, he's gonna start at the quarterback position. End of discussion.
Yeah, week 1, just like last year. Uncle Salty, what's up, brother? Good man right there. Niners just need to prepare Lance and Darnold for the season starting right now. Hope Purdy gets back as soon as exactly, man. Cooler heads prevail. Follow the logic. It just makes sense. It's hard not to see that just being the reality. It's just very difficult to see any other type of reality at this point, but that's okay. It's the off season, and if you want to chase after the craziness and all that stuff, that's totally fun, and you're not hurting anybody. So enjoy that ride if that's important to you. Clayton, let's get this last round of questions, comments in, and then we will be taking off. But man, this has been fun. I love this. Look at Symmetry. He says, y'all peep the Miles Hartfield mic'd up. Solid dude, brings energy to our DB room and special teams. I've not seen it.
I haven't seen it either, but I see his energy from watching him play.
I'm going to be looking for it now.
He's a thumper. 2 things that I like about him the most. The fact that he's ready to dislodge the ball. Okay, it's like he just knows where the ball is going to be and he's ready to dislodge it. He's not afraid to cover anybody. I'm talking tight ends. I'm talking DB. I'm talking wide receivers. I'm talking any position. He's not afraid. I've watched him cover Gronk and dislodge a ball. I've watched him. That's a big guy. That's why I'm saying that, right? And so he's not afraid of that. On top of that, when he runs, only 2 penalties last year. Okay. And when he runs, he's literally running hip to hip with the wide receiver or with the pass catcher without getting penalties. And he had 2 and breaking up the pass. So this is, I'm not saying he's a starter from day one, but man, you're getting a Steve Wilkes guy. I think that's the best way to say it. Literally, he's getting his guy. So
is it wrong to say that he's kind of the new Dante Johnson for the 49ers? Like where he fits, like he's going to be that versatility, special teams. Safety. He's a veteran. Yeah. He can kind of do a little bit of everything.
Yeah, which is good, right? Because you want to move on. Also, he's really the I word. Like I don't remember seeing him eyed. I don't want to say that. I hate that word.
No,
so
I love it.
What the I word is, you know what I'm talking about.
I love it.
Dante Johnson stayed eyed, right? Like he stayed it. And so like he could never build any continuity. But it's cool how they swap one New Jersey guy for another New Jersey guy. I thought maybe they like these guys from New Jersey.
There we go. Hey, respect that, man.
Yeah.
John says, Wayne, I'm going to need you to check your Twitter DMs, bro.
I was wondering where that was. Let me check my Twitter DMs.
John's coming at him. I love it. Now, as he checks those, I do want to say this Wednesday, tomorrow, 5:30 p.m. Pacific Standard Time, we have our 1994 Patreon watch party. Every Patreon member, we're going to set up Zoom. We hang out for about 1.5 hours to 2 hours. We just watch one of these 1994 season games. We're just going through the season. We're going to have a great time. All you got to do is head over, just Google 49ers and Patreon. We're the first one that pulls up. any level you join, you get it. You get to join us. We got the directions there. I'll repost those tomorrow. Going to be fun. Also just loaded a John Feliciano breakdown. Got a Sam Darnold breakdown up there as well yesterday. So we're just going through all these new players so that you can get to know them, what they do well, what they do poorly, what their role is going to be on the Niners. That's all over on Patreon. So if you want to learn more about those guys, that's where that's going to be. All right. Just want to say thank you to everybody. Wayne, good gosh. I'm going to be on Wayne's show Friday. If you look at the description of this video or audio, it's the very, very first line in the description of this video and podcast. Click on that. Support Wayne's show. What time are we going live Friday?
We're going live 8 a.m. your time, 11 a.m. Eastern Standard Time.
Correct. Yeah, so that's going to be a lot of fun. And listen to that. Look at that. Faithful and Grateful says Patreon's fire. How do you not go with that? I'm just saying.
That's what's up. I got to figure out how to get my Patreon to be fire or ice. Maybe John's could be fire
and ice.
Jesus could be ice. Yeah.
A song of fire and ice.
Oh my gosh.
I love it. I love it.
That's one of the dopest, illest theme songs ever.
Oh, it's fire.
I have the Monopoly game. And so Rome pulled it out and said, Dad, can I push this button? Because I want to hear what it sounds like. Now I know he's done it before. He just doesn't want me to know that he pushed it. So I'm like, yeah, push that button. See what it sounds like. We started playing it. Started playing the music because it's the Game of Thrones Monopoly and the head bop. It's that 3/4 rhythm, man. It just got him going. So maybe when he turns 15, I can kind of introduce him to Game of Thrones. It's got a lot of stuff going on in there. I don't know if he's ready for it.
Yeah, it's good though. It's really good. But this show was good. Wayne, always incredible. Clayton, thank you so much. Absolute crushed it behind the scenes. Thank you to our executive producers, Philip Kingsford, Kilton Niner, 49ers, George 365. Without them, this show does not happen. But a lot more content coming to you guys. And man, we got right at 5 weeks till the draft. Gosh, enjoy this time. It's fun. And until next time, Wayne, any closing thoughts before we jump out of here?
I love you. Yes, that's it. I love you.
Perfect. Till next time, stay strong, faithful.